So even though I've done my sniper tips and tricks videos, a lot of people asking me recently, how do I use the Arctic like I use the Arctic? I'm happy to show you. So we'll first start by going into a game on training room, and I'll sort of go through my regimes and my methods and how I use the Arctic myself. So first things first, don't use the tac scope. If you're using the tac scope on an Arctic 50, you are using it wrong. And it's pretty cheap as well. Let's be honest. If you've got to use that, you've probably not got an awful lot of skills to compensate for. So I go for my settings and go through my settings. When my settings decides it wants to open, yeah, there we go. Right. So they're my normal standard settings. I do use aim assist. I never used to, but decent kind of forced me out that way. I use tap to ADS. I used to use hybrid. The reason I still use just tap only is because there'd be times where I'd try and like tap into ADS and it would just like sort of like semi zoom in. Another important one is sprint sensitivity. I have mine set to 86. Don't set it to 100. Never set it on always sprint, especially if you're sniping. That is just not a good idea. It's going to make you very inaccurate. Field of view, you play with 64, there's no distortion on any objects, as well as still being able to see like a sort of perfect peripheral. I have my graphics and my frame rate at medium. I could have them higher, but it's only from when I'm streaming. I play fixed speed for the sakes of muscle memory. I have all my sensitivity fairly low as well, again for the sakes of muscle memory, but I have it high enough so I can still do my 360s and 12s, etc. Alright, so let's get into it now. So when you're using the Arctic 50, yeah, you'll notice that a lot of people will hardscope you. So a hardscope on Arctic is pretty accurate, as you can see from that. Do you know what I mean? It's not really going to put you at a disadvantage, but if you're going to quick scope with it, you've got to make sure you can't really blank scope it because it's RNG. It's complete luck if you're going to hit your shot. So you want to make sure that you can see the target or whatever you're shooting through it. Even if it's just for a split second, you want to make sure that you are able to see it, because if you can't see it through your scope, it's not going to hit. Blank scopes of Arctic do not hit. They just don't. And like I said, it's RNG. It's complete luck. So you want to do what I just did there, where you very slightly see the target. Okay, now for example, when I'm doing that, they all missed. Now the reason being is because another thing I've noticed with the Arctic is say somebody's running to the left. You want to pull your Arctic even further to the left when they are running. And this is a prime example again of you can't blank scope. It is complete luck. So notice when I'm scoping in, I can slightly see the target when I click the fire button. As soon as I fire, I aim myself out. If you aim yourself out too fast, you essentially just hip fire, which is zero benefit to you whatsoever, because the Arctic 50's hip fire is completely unreliable, obviously unless you make a build that would compensate for the hip fire. I don't suggest doing that personally. I think if you use this build for the Arctic and just follow my advice, it should be pretty hunky-dory really, pretty easy to do. So you always want to make sure that you can see people in your sights as well. Now I wanted to go in and talk about when it comes to sliding and shooting and jumping and shooting, but everything's getting a nerf. Even the Arctic 50's getting a nerf, so this video is just like a week's worth of advice essentially, because it's all going to change again soon. I think that's the reality of it, but yeah, it is what it is. I suppose it is what it is. So what I'll do now is I'll just quickly hop into a game of practice versus AI and just sort of show you the Arctic's capabilities against people. And obviously keep in mind, if you're going to shoot people, you need to be able to see them in your scope. Even if it's just a little bit, you need to be able to see them. Right, so this is my first technical game on today. I've played today. Literally got on just to do those clips. It's something that's been requested quite a lot recently actually. But yeah, so if you notice when I'm shooting at them, if I'm not directly on them, it ain't doing shit. to be honest with you. It didn't even benefit me in the slightest. So you can flick into people when you're using the Arctic as well, and I think the main advantage of using Arctic as well as is the pure and simple fact that you don't have to worry about hit markers. I mean, you can shoot somebody in the leg and they're gonna die, and that's just, you know, a massive advantage. But I'm gonna be honest, it's an inaccurate piece of shit. You know, a lot of the shots are gonna be luck, but I hope this video helps. So thank you for watching.